I'm Bill Winterberg of FPPad.com. I'm here in San Francisco at Charles Schwab. Joining me today is Neesha Hathi, Senior Vice President of Advisor Technology for Schwab Advisor Services. Neesha, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Now, Neesha, we're here in San Francisco, so close to Silicon Valley. I want to jump to a great question about the pivots that you see startups doing and the lean startup methodology that's really gaining momentum down in the South Bay. How do you take an organization like Schwab with its legacy and apply some of those innovative principles to add more agility to your organization?
Well, it's a great, it's such a great landscape to be a part of, because you see all these startups, in a very exciting, time of their life or their maturity, thinking about how they're going to really navigate a really interesting environment. And I think when we sit here so close to that, it's hard not to be impacted by that. And I think we're in a fortunate place, because I actually did work at startups previously. And the great thing about being at a startup is that, it's all about your idea, your passion, your product. When you have a big organization like Schwab, the nice thing is you have a big portfolio of products and ideas. And what we try to do is really take the kind of the best in breed in terms of those technologies and those actually practices and processes, and incorporate them into what we do. So I'll give you a few examples. So, I would say years ago we used the unified process in terms of how we think about technology development. And over the last several years, we've incorporated Agile in a lot of different places. We actually don't use Agile universally. So there are still a few areas where we actually still believe that the unified process gives us better results. But Agile really has that ability to kind of provide that kind of turn on a dime type of development that is really important in today's economy, and in the way that the pace of development these days. So it's an example. I think one of the other things that we at Schwab really pride ourselves on is really listening to the client. And when you read a lot of the lean startup and a lot of that philosophy, it really is about continuous informing yourself continuously in terms of what the product has to be, that MVP concept, right? We actually really do incorporate a lot of that into our development, because we're always listening to our clients. So whether it's our advisory boards or client events, or our technology consultants on the road, or our relationship managers, we're always trying to bring that voice of the client in. And sometimes that means that we actually take a little bit longer in that inception validation state, because we're continuously trying to incorporate that feedback. So when we actually get to a launch, we're really launching something that's powerful.
Great. So with many thousands of independent advisors choosing to custody their clients' assets with Schwab, can you think of one great example where you're taking a lot of that feedback and input from that broad advisory community and able to turn around a good solution for them that really speaks well to their needs? What's a good example of that?
Oh gosh, I got so many. I'm actually gonna go with trading, because it's top of mind right now, because we're getting very close to launching our new trading platform. But that's an example of, we actually created a steering committee of almost 100 advisors, all different shapes and sizes, big firms, small firms, money managers, fund pickers, stock pickers, fund managers, and really tried to incorporate their feedback. They've been on this journey with us now for over 12 months, actually providing feedback. And we actually structure the development to actually do a number of different live betas. And so we've had 7 betas already, where these advisors are actually able to use the platform, provide immediate feedback, and we incorporate their feedback into the next beta. So we're actually now we're in pilot, and we're going to be launching actually in July. But it's an example of how they actually this is a platform built by them for them. We've really incorporated that feedback all throughout.
Well, wonderful. So in contrast, there's more competition in the marketplace. Advisors have more choices than ever on where they're going to custody assets and who they're going to choose for technology partners as well as service partners. So for advisors that are watching this, what do you have to say to not necessarily influence or persuade those advisors to use Schwab as a more dedicated partner, but what can you tell them, and what value can you say to advisors that would really convince them that Schwab is the ideal partner for them?
Yeah, well, I think that the nice thing is we've been around for, since this industry kind of began. And so I think we have a lot of credibility in the marketplace. Our clients tell us that, they know that we're going to be behind them. We're in it for the long term. And when we think about investments that we're making, we're constantly incorporating their feedback to try to make sure that we're really doing it not only so that they can work better with us, but they can also just work better. And so when I think about the investments we make in things things like intelligent integration or the portfolio center products, or those really are investments to try to optimize the experience for the advisor. And then one of the pillars that we've really been focused on more recently is around education and leveraging technology, because we always say, it's great to have all the capabilities out there, but if you have no idea how to use them, you're not going to really get that ROI, that benefit. So we've really enhanced our capabilities there with regards to new resources. We actually have a new Insight to Action program that came into the market last week around optimizing your CRM. So there's all kinds of educational materials. We launched Market Square, so lots of different things that we're working on to try to make sure that advisors can really use the technology solutions that were out there. But I think it's pretty clear that we're in it for the long run, and we're here to kind of make sure that the advisors can really get to the next stage in their growth.
Well, that's really exciting. And to build on some of that momentum, when you assemble your team in advisor technology, what one thing do you really talk about, one little tidbit that you have for advisors that can get them excited again about what future technology, future integrations that Schwab has in store for them as they continue to expand their business?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time for an RIA. I mean, you mentioned all the choices that they have. They have a lot of choices. We're trying to help them navigate those choices with resources like Market Square. But it's really great to have, whether it's the cloud and they can get rid of server infrastructure, when you think about mobility and the ability to address clients' needs when they're remote or in a different geography. I mean, it's an exciting time. And so I think that they're going to continue to see lots of enhancements across our platform. We're investing a lot in our core technologies around making it easier to work with us. We're expanding intelligent integration with new providers. We're deepening that technology. And then we have a lot of exciting news coming on the portfolio center front as well. So, the nice thing about having a big portfolio is that you really get to kind of continue to enhance that experience all throughout.
That's great. It sounds like you have a lot of great news and information coming out for advisors. So for those who are curious and watching right now, where is the best place to go to find information about your latest enhancements, your latest technology rollout? Where can advisors get that info?
Well, a lot of advisors in the industry have a relationship manager because they're already working with Schwab. So they're really, the number one source. We have technology consultants that can also share that information. And then always going to Schwab Advisor Center or the Schwab Intelligent Technologies or Schwab Performance Technologies websites also are great resources for them.
Fantastic, Neesha. Yeah. Thank you so much for informing me about the new technology initiatives you have at Schwab and at Schwab Advisor Services and all the exciting things you have in store for advisors.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
From downtown San Francisco at Charles Schwab, I'm Bill Winterberg for FPPad.